this is Nick with Wolfman Repairs, and today I have my wind machine again. I had a viewer request that I do a spark plug replacement video. So the request was on the leaf blower video, so I figured I'll do the spark plug replacement on the leaf blower. So let's get right into it. I'll show you what tools you need and how to do it. Okay, so the tools you're going to need are a ratchet, an extension, the correct size socket for your spark plug, and you want to use a spark plug socket. These are special spark plug sockets, because if you look on the inside, you see there's a rubber boot in there, and that rubber boot helps protect the spark plug when you tighten it down into the cylinder head. Dielectric grease. Now, if you don't want to go crazy and buy a big old tube like this, they sell them at the parts store, these little packets. So they have bulb grease, dielectric grease, it's the same thing. So if you don't want to go crazy and buy a whole big container like this, you can buy this little tiny packet at the auto parts store. Now you need your spark plug. That's the correct one for your application. And you're going to need either feeler gauges, that's what these are, or a spark plug gapping tool. I don't have a spark plug gapping tool. I've always used feeler gauges, and they seem to work out pretty well, because you're going to have to measure the gap on your spark plug. So let's get into replacing this spark plug. So on this wind machine, the spark plug is underneath this cap here. This cap is also the spark plug boot. So you want to be careful when taking this cap out that you don't try to rip it on out of there, because see, it's still attached, and it needs to stay attached because it is the spark plug boot for the spark plug. Here's your spark plug in here. All right, I had to prop you guys up a little more so you can get a better view of what's going on. But yeah, here's your spark plug boot, and that goes on top of your spark plug here. Now to remove the spark plug, you grab your spark plug socket. In this case, it's a 5/8. Put it on top of there. Grab your extension. Well, actually, in this case, you don't even need an extension. Grab your ratchet. Make sure it's going in reverse, which in this case it's not. And then loosen it. Now, it might be stuck in there pretty good like this one was, and it's supposed to be. So you just loosen it. It should come on out. Now this one I had just replaced, so this one is pretty good, but I'll just show you how to do it. So here's your cylinder head right here. That's what the spark plug threads into. So you want to grab your new spark plug. In this case, this is the old spark plug from this machine. What you want to do as well is you want to match up the numbers on your spark plug to make sure it's the same. Now, these are not the same numbers, because this spark plug that was in here is a Torch brand, and the spark plug I changed it with is an NGK. I prefer running NGKs, so you're going to have to look up your spark plug in your owner's manual, or just buy the same one that came out of your machine. Now, before you go ahead and just throw the new spark plug in, what you want to do is make sure the gap is correct. Now, the gap they're referring to is between the center electrode and the ground electrode. Now, let me point this out. Right in here, this little cylinder here, that's the center electrode, and this strap here is your ground electrode. So in this case, it's between 0.6 millimeters and 0.7 millimeters is what the spec is on this spark plug. So I didn't have a 0.6 or 0.7, but I got a 0.356 and 0.305. So I'm just going to put those together and stick them in between the center electrode and the ground electrode. And you see how it fits nice and snug? That's what you want. The spark plug is gapped correctly. Now, if it wasn't, if it was gapped incorrectly and you had to push this down a little bit, well, that's all you do is you just kind of jam it down a little bit. Or if it was too wide, or if you needed it wider, you kind of just pry on up a little bit on it. Now, they sell spark plug gapping tools next to those little packets that I showed you at the auto parts store. So where they got these little packets, they also have spark plug gapping tools. And you get them there, and they make it a lot easier than trying to fumble around with some feeler gauges. So after you got your spark plug gapped, what you want to do then is grab your socket, stick your spark plug in your spark plug socket into that rubber boot, and then carefully install it into your engine. Now this is important you do this carefully because you don't want to strip the threads on the cylinder head. Oh, here you go. The boot stayed on there. This is the boot from the spark plug tool. So that's supposed to stay in the spark plug tool, and this one came out. Now, we could just put that back on the... You know what? Let me pull the spark plug back out again. Or, you know, I'll use this spark plug here. Let me show you how it protects the... This is a ceramic, so it protects the ceramic from breaking when you tighten it down. So it's pretty cool. That's why you need to use a spark plug socket. So we'll just put this back on here. Put our socket back on there. We want to tighten this down pretty snug because we want to crush that. There's a washer under here. It's right here. We want to crush this washer down. On the box that this came in, it says you go a half a turn. So, I mean, I can't make it go any more than that. I'm not gonna, if you go too much, you'll strip it, and then you'll be in a lot of trouble because then it won't run. Unless you bring it to the shop and they got to helicoil it and all this other stuff. So after you're done tightening it down, it's nice and snug. What you want to do is take your dielectric grease and stick some in the spark plug boot here. Just a little bit, you don't gotta go crazy. And put that back on there, and that's it. You're set. Your spark plug is changed, and you're ready to rock and roll for another season. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. I appreciate your comments. And if you want me to do anything else, just let me know. If I have the equipment around, I'll show you how to do it. But I appreciate it. We'll see you guys next time.